Hello,
Hi there.
and welcome to another one of our horror reviews. I'm Randy,
And I'm Steve.
and this is In a Violent Nature.
Yeah.
So we went and saw this because there's been so much hype the last month about this take on a serial killer from a point of view, from his point of view. And they said it was going to be some gnarly kills.
Some of the gnarliest kills we've ever seen. I think there's a poster even said that said, or like someone commented, or I forget what it was something on a poster, either from a person who went to see it, or as a tagline, something about like the most gory kills you'll ever see. I think I remember seeing something about
Yeah.
that. Like soon just kind of come out,
Yes.
or gnarliest kills, or something along those lines.
And after watching it, let's just say I gave it 2.5 stars
We both did.
out of 5.
Yeah, I was feeling kind of generous. So this movie was clever. I liked, in a way, the concept of the killer being the one who we're following throughout the story, and I also think that was also my drawback with this movie, along with a couple other things. I think that come with that. Um, so to start off, things I didn't. Let's start with what we didn't like. Get the
Didn't
names
like?
out of the way. Didn't like.
The pacing.
Pacing. Yeah, there was a lot of pacing issues with this movie. It started off, I think we missed like 5 minutes of the movie when we were
Yeah.
going in. And then once we actually sat down, it just shows basically these kids talking campfire, and you were just watching them talk, and it is really boring.
And the acting.
I think there was something on before it that happened too, but the acting, well, I think acting, my problem with the acting is more so a problem with the characters, and I think that's something with the direction. I think the acting honestly wasn't that bad. I think what it was for me, I don't think it was the actors. I think it was the way these characters were stupid. These were some of the most unintelligent characters in the movie I've ever seen.
And during the
There were scenes where they would just, like, the killer would be right there and you could hear the footsteps in the woods. They would not move, they would not do shit. They would just sit there and wait for the killer to come up to them and kill them. And then there were scenes where, like, they are they see the killer coming after them and they just wait to be murdered.
Yeah.
They don't fight back, they don't do anything, they just wait to be killed.
Like the best kill in the movie, this bitch literally just stands there and she's like, kill me now.
Well, yeah, she doesn't say that, but
She
she's
doesn't say that,
so
but-
there's a killer and she's like doing yoga, and all of a sudden she's like, I thought you showed up. She's looking away, mind you. The killer's like coming up in a mask, his huge hulking dude, and she's just like, I thought you'd never show up. And then she turns around and she's like, ah, and she starts screaming, and then she runs like away. And then she runs to the edge of this cliff randomly and then stops there, and she's like, I can't do anything. And then waits for Cody to come up behind her and kill her. When she could have just ran off in a different direction, but she decided to let him kill her, and it was the most brutal kill in the entire movie, I think.
Yeah, she just like turns around.
Oh,
and she's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh.
And then she takes, and
Huh.
they, well, I will say, the best part of that scene is he takes this fishing hook thing and shoves it through her, pulls it out through her gut, proceeds to throw it into her forehead and pull her forehead through the part in her stomach that he already gutted her through. It's just, and then he shoves her off the cliff.
Pretty wicked gross.
It was really clever, I'll give it that, but there's also
That's probably
pretty
the
decent,
best kill.
it was probably the best kill. There's a couple other decent ones. There's a guy who gets decapitated via like his like this thing that goes around his jaw and decapitates him like at the jaw. There's another guy who gets like his arm severed on a log cutter, and then gets his head cut off afterwards, like by the log cutter. After a fun little demonstration with a log. But yeah, there's also another thing in this movie that I did not like was the idea of backstory when we're not even following these characters, so we have no idea what the heck they're talking about. There's like this scene where all of a sudden, like at the end of the movie, like all this shit goes down. The characters like you can hear him talking in the distance because again, it's from the killer's point of view. He's like, "Hey," he listens to, and they're like, "I think people are dying." And eventually, it comes to this one scene, and the guy's like, "Oh, I recognized you. Do you remember me?" And I was like, well, we don't know who the heck you are. There was no context who these characters are. He's like, do you remember me? Or I remember you, or something like that. It was just really random. And we don't even know anything about these characters, so why would we care about a backstory when we don't get one? And then they try to, like, give us a half-assed backstory about, like, how he was someone there and got, like... They don't even tell us what it is. It alludes to
It
him
was
being...
like his mother's locket or something like that.
They allude to it, but they don't talk that much, and you have to listen really
The
closely
basic
to the mumbled voices in the background.
The basic, oh my god, in the campfire scene, you can barely hear them. They're like mumbling.
And it's not even interesting. They're just sitting there around the campfire telling dumbass ghost stories.
Yeah. It's the basic premise of this movie is these kids steal this locket, and it summons this killer named Johnny out of his grave, and he wants his locket back. So that's the whole movie is just him walking around from his point of view, and yeah, you don't get to see the kids very much, but when you do see the kids,
and then when you see them,
like,
they just sit there and watch and wait and do nothing, and they scream and they act like, oh my god, it's a killer. Let's wait for him to kill me.
And then the end comes.
It's like they've never seen a horror movie.
She gave the locket back, right?
Yes, she does. She like watches this guy get butchered with an axe in the face, like about 100 times. I mean, I drew it.
Oh,
but not...
is that why they closed up at the end? I missed that.
Yes, that's
they
why.
They closed up at the end on the gasoline tank.
He smashed his head in like ridiculously amount of times. She just
I've
watches,
seen
and
that.
then she takes off the locket, dumps it on this like gasoline container.
Gasoline container, yeah.
And then she just drops it, and it falls onto the gasoline container,
That's
and she
why
runs
they do
off.
that.
Like this woman. There's this long scene at the end.
I was wondering why.
At the end, he gets his locket back. We don't see him take it. We just see Allison. We flash back to that same bucket of gasoline, and it's gone.
But the end, you get this stupid. Well, I'm not gonna say stupid, but
it is stupid. It is
this dialogue
stupid.
story from the old woman that picks her up in the car, and it's a story about a bear, and I think it's supposed to be an analogy for like
it takes forever.
The killer or whatever, but like it takes.
It's not.
It's like a 10-minute monologue.
All I got of it was there was a bear. It attacked her friend, whatever, attacked someone she knew. That the girl in the car was gonna be okay because this person survived, so she would survive as well, and that something about how trauma is.
Yeah, it's some bullshit.
But basically, I got 3 things out of that entire thing. Maybe 2.5 now at this point, looking back on it. It's just like this random story that goes on and on, and you're waiting. And you're waiting. She's like, let's go to the hospital. And there's a scene where she like stops and she's like, and she takes like forever to like wrap up her wound.
Okay, real quick. What about the good things about this movie?
Well, there were some decent kills.
Decent kills.
The killer was actually creepy.
The killer was cool.
The killer's face,
especially when he got a mask.
It was awesome. No, I think actually without the mask was even better because you got to see like the gums and like the eyes that were completely.
Yeah.
Like, what is that called when your eyes it was like they were filmed. It was like there's like film over his eyes because damage. He's dead, and his gums are all messed up, and he looks really gross. And then at one point you see maggots come out of his head, like when she smashes when his head gets smashes open, like maggots I think come out, right?
Yeah.
Or something, or bugs, or worms, or something.
Real quick, the cinematography was probably pretty good.
Yeah, there's some scenes that are actually really pretty. That was true. I heard that in other people talk about this movie, and that is true. But
anyways, I'd wait to see this on stream. I hate saying this.
I would agree.
But I would wait to see it on streaming, not that I'm for streaming.
I'm kind of for streaming. It's not that I'm for it more than movies, but I think it's a good, easy way. It's probably more inexpensive if you have the streaming services to do it.
It's just not worth the $15.
No, yeah, it was good because we went to see this for Tuesday showing, so it was cheaper. But yeah, this was an interesting concept, but not that good. 2.5 stars. Yes. Anyhow, this has been.
Like and follow for more.
Take care.
Yes. Have a great one.
Yes.
And if you want, go see In a Violent Nature.
If you think it's worth it.